Well, hey there. Welcome to episode, what is this, three? Is it
Sure.
Three. Okay, we'll go with three. Uh, Two hypnotists walk into a podcast, the amazing Dan Candell, and I'm Steve Rame, and welcome to whichever episode this is.
Today, Steve, we just started talking about something before we started recording. Steve and I, we just banter. We shoot the shit a lot.
Quite often.
And
Next Friday, at least.
yeah.
But you're not going to be privy to.
No. Steve was just talking to me about how we deal with things. And I said, why don't we just stop the conversation here? Let's just go live and just talk about this. So I don't know where this conversation is going to end up, but this is how two hypnotists who've worked with thousands of people, this is how we deal with shit. So, ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
If you have questions, please throw them at us, so we can. If those of you who are watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, or if you have any questions, let us know.
We have the comments turned on, so I'm going to be monitoring the comments as they pop up. So if you do have any questions, let us know. If you're going through something and you'd like to know how you can handle it or how you can work through it, let us know. We might have some insight or some advice for you.
Yeah, or we can offer some help too. So
Steve, you just gave me some excellent advice. I opened up the pre-conversation that we had. I have some personal shit that's happening at the end of this month, and everybody keeps asking me, how's it going? Oh, how is that? Oh, people who know me personally, how is that? How is that going? Has it happened yet? And I'm like, look, I don't really want to talk about it. I'm like, it is. I put it so far in the back of my mind that I don't have to pay attention to it until the day comes.
Yeah.
Steve, we all know how that works.
Yeah. Well, and I think I gave you some really good advice too.
So what I was talking to Steve about was yesterday, I was just pissed about everything. And then when I wasn't pissed about it, I was pissed that I wasn't pissed about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept raging about everything and anyone, and even like text messages I was getting. I was like, and
I didn't text you yesterday.
Yeah, you probably would not have gotten a response. No, you would have been fine. There's certain people I'm like, you don't ever add stress to my life. You add calmness and security to my life. You're one of those people, Steve. And so yesterday I did my best to turn all that energy into productive energy, and I worked on my website, and I put out this new lead magnet, and I did all this marketing and stuff like that. But just I kept hitting obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Mm-hmm. So I went for a rage run, and I was just like, as I was running, I'm like, fuck this person, fuck that person, screw this. Like, they can get hit by a bus, And that's I don't think that's productive.
Well, I mean, slightly, I guess.
Yeah. My friends, they joke. They're like, "You're the anxiety relief guy." Damn, like,
he's not the rage relief guy, though.
Yeah, the rage relief guy. I'm like the pissed off hypnotist. So, Steve, you gave me some great advice, and I think this should come from you. What did you say I should do?
I said go to Facebook Marketplace and buy a heavy bag, because I guarantee they're on there, and stick them out in the garage or wherever you need to, and just go beat the hell out of something on occasion. Just get it out, get it over with. If you need to put somebody's face on there, put it on there, or several, and just wail on them for a minute, or just imagine it there. You should have a good imagination, but get it out. Don't carry it with you, and that's I think that's a problem for a lot of people. I was talking to a friend of mine who she made a mistake and forgot to do something, and it was going to cost her a lot of her time. Like an extra 4.5, 5 hours. And the problem was she kept beating herself up over and over and over, and basically lost an entire day rather than just a few hours that it was going to take to convey herself to one place and back. To retrieve what she'd forgotten. And for me, I'm an Aries too, because I'm pretty good at getting. And then I'm
an Aries as well. I didn't know you were an Aries too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But the thing is about us is we're at least I don't know what they say we are. I know for me, I'm really good at getting really angry and letting it go very quickly. 24 hours later, whatever happened yesterday, all right, that was yesterday.
Right.
Worried about it anymore. Today is today. It doesn't mean I'm going to allow those things to happen again. Necessarily, because who knows what life brings towards us, but we can't get people, unfortunately, not legally anyway. But we're not going to talk about that on here.
Steve, I called one of my friends yesterday as I was running, and I like to talk to people when I run because it helps me control my breathing. And I called one of my friends and I'm like, look, I know this is not going to be productive to talk about. She's like, no, she's like, just like get it out. And she's like, it can be helpful to get it out. And I agree, but I also agree, like just talking to talk and talking to vent is not necessarily something that's purposeful. And I don't think it's always, yeah, exactly. And you can do that in therapy, and I don't think talk therapy is all that helpful. It's just like talking to a friend that is going to sit there nod along and
charge you $200 an hour.
Exactly.
I'm happy to charge you $200 an hour to listen to you as well. I'm just not going to give you advice.
And dude, let me be the first one to say there was this session I put out there, and I said it's an anything session. You can use this session for anything you want, and I was charging $350 at the time for that session. And there were some people, Steve, that bought that session and they said, we just need you to sit there. And I asked people, what do you need right now? And they said, I just need you to sit there and be a verbal punching bag and just listen to me and stroke my ego. I'm like, is that going to make you feel better? Yes. Okay, that's what I'm going to do today.
Okay.
And there's sometimes now, because we do what we do, that conversation was short-lived and we made something purposeful out of that session. But there are ways that we can use some of our experiences just to mind fuck people.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, this is what I was talking to my friend about yesterday. Like it's not good just to carry the weight of some of this stuff. And I said, I just need to like get it out. And that's why run. And Steve, I'm going to go get a punching bag later today because bro,
I guarantee I could pull up Facebook Marketplace right now. There's probably 20 of them on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Within 3 miles of you.
But Steve, we got a question actually came up from Brandy.
Hi, Brandy.
She says, hello there. I've been dealing with horrible anxiety for 3 years. My husband and daughter have not been supportive, and it seems we have reached the end of our marriage. How do I deal with anxiety and the stress that comes with it?
Wow. Well, you've got 3 years of anxiety that have piled up. So your nervous system got really good at handling and being in that state. Dan just left.
Sorry about that.
And not die now. But no, there's how can you handle it? Go get a punching bag, start meditating, find the things that really uplift you and empower you in your life and really start focusing on them. Because the problem is, at least from my experience, because I work with attention, is that our attention is very limited. Right? We only have so much of it to give. And if you're constantly focused on everything you don't want to experience, then you're going to experience even more of it. 100%. So what is it that you want to experience? Where can you move your attention? Now, is that going to take care of everything immediately? Not necessarily, but you've got to start somewhere.
Also keep in mind that it's not as much as we want it to be. Our family doesn't necessarily understand anxiety, and that's okay. And we can try and make them understand it. And I know, Brandy, you said it's coming to the end of your marriage, and hopefully you'll get more relief on the other side of that. It's different with everybody. I don't know what the situation is. I'll just say this. One of the times when relationships fail is when, you both stop fulfilling the other person's values and supporting the other person's values. And one of the things that I would recommend to you, and this is one of the things I found with anxiety, one of the reasons why people have anxiety is because they're living in the space of have to. And there's 3 phases: have to, choose to, get to. And you show me a person who's stressed, depressed, and anxious, and I can show you they're probably living in the space of have to. So see what choices you can make that will empower you a little bit more. Also, do some discovery, see what your values are. And we all have 5 core personal values. I can almost guarantee you that if you're feeling anxious, it's because some of your values aren't being met, or they're not being supported or fulfilled. When you have more purpose, you're going to feel that anxiety start to fade away. And when you start to make more choices that are empowering, you're going to notice that anxiety start to fade away as well. So I'm sorry what you're going through and what your experience is. I hope everything ends as amicably as possible. Steve, we both went through breakups.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, we're literally just a thought away from relief. I look at my clients and myself a lot of times as flailing around in 4 feet of water. We just don't realize we can stand up. It's not that it's absolutely that easy, but it's kind of weird that after the work that we do, that last little thing that happens that changes everything. It's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I really can stand up and everything is okay. But yeah, I completely agree with you about the values. You've got to figure out what drives you, what's important to you, how are you making your choices in your life, and no purpose at this time. Oh, well, then definitely start to look at your values. What do you want? Who do you want to be? I think that's a big question right there that most people never answer them for themselves, is who do you want to be? People think about what they want, which is great. I want this and I want that and I want those things out there. But who do you want to be as a person? Start to put your attention on that and developing yourself. Regardless of what happens around you, you're more in control of your situation at that point.
And I want to do a little breakdown of what values are, because some people think, oh, they're just traits or characteristics, or they're just interests of mine. And values go so much deeper than that. Values are principles and that we live by. And usually our values do not change. They're usually developed by the time we're about 25 years old. They usually do not change unless we go through significant trauma or a traumatic brain injury of some sort, something very traumatic or significant that might completely change what's important or what's not important to us anymore. A good way to identify your values, we all have 5 of them. And our 5 core values, they can explain why we do what we do, why we don't do, why we attract certain people and why we repel certain people, why we gravitate towards certain things, why we run from others. And a good way to do this is to think about what it would be like if you were at your retirement party and there are a bunch of people saying observations about, good observations about you, like things that you seem to like, things that you are good at. And what Steve and I do, we kind of listen to what those things are, and then we categorize them in 5 categories. And those are your 5 core values. And when we do this kind of work, I put together a values profile for you. So that way you always have it with you and you can always, and this is something, it's also like a little spiritual. People read this values profile and they're like, holy shit, like, how did you know this about me? And it's like, you revealed all this stuff. It was already inside of you. We just sometimes forget it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times I hold the mirror up for my clients. They don't recognize themselves. Sometimes they don't want to see the mirror either.
Yeah. And this is also, when we talk, if we want to get deep into metaphor, like that reflection, usually when we're experiencing anxiety and we're going through any type of loss or transition, there's also a lot of projection that can happen there as well. and we start to project our own insecurities onto other people. And this is where we want to do a lot of like the deep inner healing work and forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, healing the inner child, any type of, so that way your nervous system isn't constantly on defense. And I find this is what a lot of people aren't doing, is they're not doing that like deep inner work. They're just talking about things, and talking about them is not necessarily going to solve those problems or help you make deep insights.
Yeah, you're not going to talk your way out of an emotional problem.
No.
Not going to happen.
And
as that would be. But then we wouldn't have a business.
Right. And you can't solve an emotional problem with a logical solution. It's just not it's going to be a mismatch. And that's why there are some times when your emotions, and I'm not just talking to Brandy here, I'm talking to everybody, our emotions are messages. And sometimes we forget to dial deep into paying attention to what those messages are. And it's almost like, oh, you push it back and you try and ignore it, and that emotion's going to knock a little bit louder. You try not to pay attention to it, and then that emotion knocks louder. And then eventually, if you keep ignoring it, it's going to burst into your house like with a battering ram. And that's where you have those emotional breakdowns, and you start to have a lot of these emotional problems.
Behavioral issues turning into the suit you're wearing after a while.
Yep.
Yeah, when people come into with weight, it's always emotional.
Yeah.
100%.
They can, our emotions can come through in some pretty weird ways, even through physical pain, upset stomach.
Yep.
Just like really weird things, or even people I've worked with, they have like tremors, bathroom issues, like other fears or insecurities. They can come out, other like anger, like what we were just talking about in the beginning of this episode, anger.
Yeah, don't run away from them. Face them. What are they there? Why are they there? What are they there to teach you? Learn what you need from them so you can move through them rather than trying to circumvent them, because they're always going to find you.
Now, Steve, I can almost guarantee that people are going to listen to this or watch this and they're going to say, like, okay, how do we do that?
615-430-7.
No, it's here's the thing. It's hard to do it on your own.
It is. I didn't do it all on my own. I still don't do it on my own. When big stuff comes up, I go talk to, I'm very fortunate that I have amazing friends who are incredible change workers. So I have the luxury of having that kind of conversation and being able to move through things very quickly without doing it on my own.
Right.
Though I am very good at playing lone wolf. And sometimes it takes me to get to the edge of something before I will call somebody, because I'll do my best to take care of myself. I'll go beat the hell out of the heavy bag, but I also take the time to meditate, to do the self-hypnosis, to go hit the gym and work out really hard. I don't run. You can keep that.
You're not going to go on a rage run with me, Steve?
I haven't. Yeah, my feet haven't moved fast in a long time, and I'm cool with that. But yeah, and those are really my primary ways of taking care of myself. So, if you're looking for a way out for yourself, Brandy, figure out who you want to be. What are the values that drive you that are, you're making the choices through. Start doing some things to get rid of your stress, whether it is beating up something, going for a run, going to the gym. I highly, highly, highly recommend everybody take up a meditation practice. If you don't have one, do it now. It only takes 10 to 15 minutes a day. Seriously, you're worth it. Yeah. And then the rest of it, the stuff you can't get over, find somebody who knows how to help you get through it, whether it's one of us, because we both work remotely. So you don't have to be in Nashville or in Massachusetts. You can be wherever you are. I had a client in Australia a few days ago. But yeah, you're gonna hit the wall too. And you're gonna find some things that you're not gonna be able to move through on your own. And that's where it's important to have somebody there to support you.
And Steve, I'm going to post it down here in the comments a link to something I just put out there yesterday. It's called 7-Minute Reset. And
Right
it's
on.
free. It's just a little 7-minute meditation hypnosis session that will help you reset. It'll help you kind of get some inner peace and some inner calm so you can deal with things a lot easier. While we're on the topic of like breakups, divorce, tragedy, change, triumph, everything like that, it's really important to recognize that all of these things are not always going to be easy. Life is not always going to be rainbows and butterflies.
Change is uncomfortable.
Right. Changes, yeah. And that's okay, because if we're open to it, we learn so much. Like Steve and I believe the last episode we did, we were talking about grief.
Yep.
And how we both learned so much about ourselves through that grieving process because we were open to it. The same thing when I went through a breakup with my partner. We were together for 10 years. I learned so much about myself and so much about life because I was open to it. And we want to look for the lessons even in tragedy. I forgot who said this, but someone said never waste a good tragedy because there's always something we can learn.
I think that was a different context, but yeah, I think I like the quote. I think it was more capitalistic, though.
Totally fine. We don't need it. For today's conversation. It fits here perfectly. Like a puzzle.
With this context, though, yes, definitely learn and grow from the stuff you've been through.
Yeah, and Brandy, you can reach out to Steve at steverame.com, I believe.
I go to NashvilleHypnosis.com. I'm rebuilding
Perfect.
Steve Rame right now. I'm always rebuilding Steve Rame. It's what I do. It's a daily practice. But yeah, NashvilleHypnosis.com is a great place to find me. Or DanCandel.com. You're not going to find me there, but you'll find him.
Well, you might find Steve there because I just rebuilt it last night, and Steve might be a part of my website where we're doing conversations with Dan and Steve too. Just walk into a podcast, so that is going up on my. Yeah, that's going up on my website, so you might find Steve there.
So I'm everywhere. I'm omnipresent now with AI. AI is sending me clients now, which is awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
So keep in mind too that a lot of this stuff that we're talking about, it might not be an immediate feeling of relief, and that's okay. And in some people, in some contexts, like, I mean, we all have, I like to think many of us say, oh, like my ex was a narcissist, right? We all like to say, I think it's hot to say now my ex was a narcissist, right? But here's the thing, regardless of who you're with or who you were with, everyone serves a purpose in someone's life. And there was at one time there was something good. And so it's okay if there are certain things that are triggering. Just keep this in mind. When you're operating from a space of stress, anxiety, fear, anxiety makes us stupid. We make the same quality of decisions when we're anxious as we do if we were tipsy or intoxicated. They're not well thought out. They're driven by emotion, and they're driven to be reactional. So that's why Steve said develop a meditation practice or self-hypnosis practice. That is crucial because it can help you deal with things in a very different way.
Yeah, slow down before you react. Well, learn how to respond, really. Respond to things rather than reacting to them. Your life is going to be much easier.
I want to give a strategy real quick. When we're in this space of stress and anxiety, our thoughts are racing, everything's going so fast. Practice talking to yourself in slow motion. Even like thinking in slow motion, because that's going to force your mind and your body to slow the fuck down.
I like it.
Right? It's like, this is like, oh my gosh, when this happens, and what's going to happen when like if I get a divorce, and then my husband leaves, and then I'm going to be on. Blah, 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 blah. This is going to give you an opportunity to respond instead of react when you just slow down. And even like as you're slowing down, just move your hand really, really slow in whichever way feels like calming to you. And that's just going to help you feel this automatic sense of like, okay, I've got this. Maybe I've got this. Okay. All right. And it's going to help. It's going to help. Now, people out there, you could choose not to do this and continue to be fucking miserable on like an anxious hamster wheel. That's fine too.
It's entirely up to you. It's a series of choices.
It is.
It really is, and he's right. You can continue to experience whatever you're experiencing or make a decision to do something different, because life is nothing but a series of choices.
Right.
You have an opportunity every moment to take control of your emotions, to take control of your thoughts, to take control of your life. But you have to make a decision to do it. And if you're waiting for something outside of you to make the decision for you, it's going to be a long time before things wake up for you. Before you wake up, because it's not going to wake up for you. You have to make the decision to do it. Life is choices. Make one. Decide what you want to do. Stand up. You're in 4 feet of water.
And Steve, there's a video I just shot. I also want to talk to you about this in the next episode, and so we'll prime it so that way people watch the next one or listen to the next one as well.
Come on back.
The thing I think would be great for us to go over, to talk about, have a conversation about clients that we just could not help and why.
That would be an interesting conversation. Yes. And I'll save my comments for later.
Yeah. Same here. I will say this though. There are a lot of hypnotists and hypnosis trainers out there who I'm successful, which yes, a lot of us are very successful with our clients. I think we're more successful than other modalities of helping. But what people don't post and what people don't talk about are people that they're not successful with. And there are usually reasons why. So
there's definitely reasons why.
And
actually there could be several possibilities. We'll dig into that. So if you're a hypnotist, make sure you come back next time, or especially if you're starting out, this is stuff you're going to want to hear. Because we've all had failures, and they can be soul crushing sometimes, especially in the beginning. And I remember sitting. I'm not going to get it.
So this is going to be great for another conversation.
It is an entire episode.
We could probably do several on that topic, but I just made a video about it. And I'm like, this would actually be awesome to talk about with Steve, because there are. And I think also this will help people identify when we have this conversation. It'll help people identify within themselves. This is what I need if I'm going to pursue help from someone like Steve or like Dan. So that way you'll know, like
Steve or like Dan.
You'll know so Steve, my best friend, she used to work for me. And she used to be my receptionist. And during the summer, she was a teacher. She had the summer off. She's like, do you need any help? She's like, you don't even have to pay me. She goes, I just want to work for you because what you do is just so weird. And, and I'm like, sure, why not? So she started working for me. She was my receptionist. She was taking all my calls. And I had a conversation with her yesterday, because today I just hired somebody else to work in my business. And she said to me, Dan, I just want you to know, from an observational perspective, for someone who's worked for you before, and for someone who's your best friend, it is really hard for someone to work with you if they're going to understand what you do or how you do it, because it's so different, unique, and specific to each and every person and each situation. And she was like, there's nobody like you. She's like, your system is so you specific and so them specific. It's like, it's hard. And Steve, you're the same way. Like,
Yeah. Because a lot of what I do is so conversational that a lot of times it doesn't seem like hypnosis.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I had a session a couple of days ago. It lasted 12 minutes. And the guy got the results that he wanted. We just sat there and shot the shit for another 30 minutes. But yeah, it really, I had an assistant one time as well. And she, I don't have one right now, which is unfortunate. So if anybody's working out there looking for some work, maybe want to do some trading stuff, you might help out. Get rid of your anxiety if you have any, or any other stuff you're not wanting to carry around with you anymore. We approach things in a way that most people don't. And you're talking about other trainers out there. I've been through dozens of trainings over the years, and there's nobody out there that's doing the work the way that I'm doing it now. And some of those, I think I walked away dumber, knowing less about hypnosis than I knew when I walked in there.
And in case you're wondering, people out there in Steve and Danland, Steve does teach how and what he does. Mm-hmm. And what I've heard from a lot of trainings is that, oh, that's nice that they can do it, but we can't do it. Steve does things so deep where he makes sure you can do it by the time you leave his trainings.
You can do it. I want to make sure everybody walks away with the skills they need. Now, the thing is, in the beginning, learning the foundation is great, and you're going to learn more as you put it into practice. Because I can't teach everything I know in 6 days, but I will teach you everything that I use in 6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's hard because we're also, as trainers, we're constantly developing too. We're constantly learning too. And it's hard to teach every in fact, my first teacher said, I'm not going to teach you everything I know, but I'm going to teach you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
That's good.
I've been doing this for 26 years. There's no way I could squeeze everything into a 6-day training.
Yeah.
That's why I've got my year-long mentorship program, so people can come in and really, we can spend some time together and develop out their skills, then you got to, you should come to my training.
Steve, you're doing another one in January, I think.
Yeah, I'm pushing. I was going to do one in October, late October, and I decided I really want to push it back a little bit because I'm working on. You were talking about developing new stuff. There's some things that I'm wanting to incorporate into this training, but I'm also not wanting to detract from everything else that I'm teaching. So it's going to be like getting hit in the face with a fire hose in January, because I want to make sure I get everything in and they walk away with some really cool stuff. Because I'm just playing around with some new stuff. I'm not going to get into that right now either. I don't want to give that away yet.
Sounds delicious. What a lovely appetizer.
It'll be worth it, I promise. We're going to have to wait and come back to a later episode. So, then I'll let the cat out of the bag then.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Steve and I are going to keep making new episodes, and we go live whenever we record a new one. And then once we get a certain amount in the can, we're going to put them on a podcast platform so you can binge listen to our episodes then. Make sure you message us if you have questions, or you can message us on Facebook or Instagram. You can also comment on these posts below when we post them. And so that way we can answer any questions that you have. And just like we did with Brandy, I think we did some great work today with Brandy, helping our leads to some insights and lead Brandy to some discoveries. And we can do the same with you as well. So make sure you reach out to us and on all the platforms so we can help you. It will help us help you. Steve, any last minute insights before we drop out today?
Decide who you want to be and stand up. And
I love that.
And when you need some help, reach out. Let us know. We'll help you get you there a lot faster than you can do on your own. And a lot faster than you're ever going to do sitting around talking about it.
Steve mentioned something earlier today, which I think is really powerful. I want to glaze over this. And it was, you are sometimes just one thought away from a change, from relief. And sometimes when it feels like you're wading in 10 feet of water, you realize you could have stood up the entire time. You just
Well,
have to make that decision.
4 feet of water, unless you're 11 feet tall.
Well, sometimes it feels like you're swimming in 10 feet of water.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But all these little insights, just apply them to what you're going through, and remember, slow down. Use what you learn in these little episodes, these little thought drops, these little knowledge bombs. They can help you help yourself. Steve, I love doing this with you, my friend. I'm so excited that we have a lot more coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Who knows? Thousands, maybe.
Yeah. Well, we could.
I'm never count. I'm not even sure this is number 3 yet.
Everybody, make sure on both of our platforms you follow us everywhere, except for don't follow us in the bathroom. You won't appreciate it there. But follow us everywhere else. And as always, be well, do good, be true to who you are, and happy healing, everyone.